one terrorist sympathizer in the northern part of Nigeria, where he come under the umbrella of Arewa consultative forum, can they tell the federal government, they advise the federal government that terrorists and bandits are good people, that they deserve amnesty, just the way amnesty was granted to the Niger Delta region. And not amnesty alone, they should be giving them money. That the money they have collected through ransom, millions and billions of naira, is not enough for them. That the one that the federal government will give them will be that singular thing that will make them not to engage themselves in terrorism. I can't ask myself this simple question, that this man that is speaking, is he speaking for the middle belt, or is speaking for himself and the wicked Fulani leaders who have decided to hold this particular administration to the jugular? I go explain, make una relax. This is the same way this bunch of lunatics then frustrated the government of Jonathan, and they drove him out of power, and they brought a jihadist and a Fulani sympathizer who came and destroyed the fabrics of the little peace where we dey enjoy in this country. It destroyed it today, we don't know where we dey go. How will a man open his mouth so wide like this, telling Nigerians and Nigerian government that amnesty should be granted to the Fulani elders, to the bandits and the terrorists who has made millions of Nigeria to be displaced in their own country? Let's compare first. What was the main aim why the Niger Delta region then was engulfed with a little crisis then? It's simple. The government of this country, they take major resources of this country and abandon the people of the host community to squalor in poverty. They don't have water, they don't have good roads, they don't have good schools, yet billions in dollars is taken away from that region. And these people stood up to agitate that no, you cannot be making money for our region, yet we live in penury. This nonsense has to stop. And Yaradua in his wisdom and Jonathan felt like, no, these people have justification. And need you know that this struggle of the Niger Delta has started even at the early 60s. It did not just start now. And the government in his wisdom then felt like, no, let's come back. Every monumental development we've gotten in recent days was from the money we've made from the Niger Delta region. In view of that, let's grant these guys clemency, let's grant them amnesty, let's take their guns from them, and let's give them a new lease of life. And the people in the Niger Delta actually received this to themselves, and they get to see attacking pipelines and what have you. Let's come back to this bunch of jihadists. Started their activities in the early part of 2011-2012. They started bombing and destroying most areas in Nigeria. They said Western education is a sin and should not be embraced by people who call themselves Muslims. That is number one. And their ideology is not in tandem with them fighting for a cause which is justifiable. All they want is that Nigeria should be an Islamic country. And that is the motive or the base upon which this bunch of lunatics, who this man, Dairu, is fighting for to have amnesty. Let's go deep. Now, in recent days, they don't change their pattern. They adopt people. Even they sleep with pregnant women. Not only pregnant women. First way get belly, they go ram, come out the pikin, put them on top of the belly. They show the world. Go to Plateau State, how they've destroyed Plateau State. As long as they know that you have minerals in that community, all they will do is to come there and drive the people. These people have made the life of millions of Nigerians unbearable. And millions of Nigerians now, they are displaced in their own country. Most Nigerians in the Middle Belt region can no longer go back to their host community. And this man, they get the lever to tell the federal government that these people should be paid. Paid over what? The Niger Delta region is producing more than 50% of the money we use to run this government. What is that singular thing that the northern region is bringing to the table other than benefiting from the southern region of this country? The North should be mindful. If the South are keeping quiet, not because they are daft, because they wanted peace. If we don't want peace, we also will not want peace in the southern region. Let's go back to the eastern region. Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for a cause, for the Igbo people, proud before the administration came on board, because I must give this administration accolades for what they've done in the rhythm in the eastern region of this country. When Buhari was then the president of this country, he treated the Igbos as if they are nobody in this country. And that bettered the idea of Nnamdi Kanu coming forth again to resurrect the idea of a Biafra nation. He said his people are marginalized. He said his people are treated as if they are second fiddle in this country. And was Nnamdi Kanu lying then? It's not lying as at that material point in time. What did the government do? The government never called them on round table to negotiate and give them amnesty. But rather, what did the government of Buhari did? They sent soldiers, Operation Crocodile Smile, to go and unalive a lot of people in the eastern region, in Nnamdi Kanu's house. Up to today, the military who went there to unalive a lot of people have not been brought to book. And we are calling that justice of fairness. Not that alone. They went as far as Kenya to go and kidnap Nnamdi Kanu and bring it back to Nigeria because they want to punish the Igbo people. Even the president then called them a dot in a circle. What an insult. When Tinubu came on board, instead of him to sit back and analyze the situation in the southeastern region of this country, he inherits the anger that Buhari tend to have for the eastern people. Let's say the president has called Nnamdi Kanu, or not Nnamdi Kanu, the leaders of the southeastern region. Tell them, why was this gentleman fighting? Why was he fighting for the cause of Igbo? Then they will put their cards on the table and the president will understand that Nnamdi Kanu ideally did not even want the breakup of Nigeria. All he wanted then was for his people to be treated fairly as other Nigerians are being treated fairly. But that was not the case. The president of Nigeria, Tinubu, decided in his own wisdom to go back and initiate a new court process, a new case against Nnamdi Kanu until when they jailed Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. As the jailing of Nnamdi Kanu brought peace to the eastern region, it cannot bring peace to the eastern region. This current administration, to a greater extent, don't they try small for the eastern region. I no go lie. He should have been able to communicate this to Nnamdi Kanu that we are doing what we can to correct the abnormalities that have been done against the eastern region in this country. But that was not done. They finish up. They just kind of go prison, go keep there. While bandits, X-men who are unaliving our soldiers that we see and hear in their thousands now are the people that the Arewa Consultative Forum are trying to tell us that we should grant clemency, we should give them amnesty, and we now give them money. Those who sat at that forum and came forward with that resolution, all of them are nowhere. All of them are nowhere. Proud before now, how many times has the Arewa Consultative Forum came up and sit and say, this thing will happen in the northern part of Nigeria, let us solve it once and for all. They do not. When Buhari was there for the 8 years, this bunch of lunatics do not sit down and make a decision, come out to say that let's do this and do that to stop this particular thing that's happening. Of a truth, if you are paying them 1 billion in a month, it's not enough for this kind of these uneducated guys to say they will not kidnap or they will not go and be doing forceful entry on our women in this country. Share the federal government when they give them education every month. Why can't they send their children to school in the northern region where other regions are being sent their children to school? You will take them to Islamic school to go and radicalize them and came forth and they will come up for that school because they inflict that same thing on our head of Nigeria. Nigerian government will not budge. Nigerian government will not give you anything. If you want to go to hell, go to hell. If you want to heaven to fall, let heaven fall. We all will on our life together in this country if heaven fall. This nonsense has to stop in this country and it has to stop now.